What's going on, everybody? Got another video back with the 2.5 Jetta, and today we're gonna have to fix some coolant leaks. I got me a pressure tester kit from Harbor Freight that works like a dream. I found three actually. I found one at the water pump that we're gonna have to change. The thermostat, I couldn't see it with my own eye, but I am in the process of taking this off to find out. And then I had a third leak over here at this coolant flange, but I might have got lucky because this clamp was a little loose. So I tightened this down and this isn't leaking anymore. It was leaking from this hose right here. I think I got lucky because I know that's a common point where it leaks at. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that for the future though. And then if you're getting to the water pump, you're gonna need to take the motor mounts out, I think. And you're gonna have to jack the engine up from what I was researching. So yeah, I'm only changing two parts, the thermostat and the water pump, but it's gonna be an in-depth job for sure. So I'm gonna just probably set my camera up, and it's not really gonna be a how-to video because we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to lock in on this for sure. It's cold too. I got my salt right there. That lovely Michigan weather. If you're up north, you know how it is. All right, so we got the intake manifold off. It was kind of a bitch, I won't lie. If you guys are doing this, I would suggest taking the two bottom ones off, and then the two that are kind of far down into the intake, I would take those four off. Those are going to be your toughest ones. If you can get those four off, it should be a little easier after that. You can go after that. I would go about, you know, taking your sensors off the fuel rail. The fuel rail itself, I have it kind of sitting underneath this right now. I probably shouldn't. And honestly, you can connect or disconnect both these hoses from back there if you wanted to just kind of move it out the way on a counter or whatever. It's actually leaking from the oil filter housing, not the thermostat. So I'm gonna start taking the thermostat off and get into that. M10 triple square, I think they're called. Don't quote me on that. That's where that last bolt for the oil cooler is. So that's how I got to the last bolt. We'll see if this works. Whew. See if you can see that. Yay! Holy shit. Swivel joints for the win. All right, boys, we got the oil filter. Not the oil filter, the oil cooler off. All right, so we got the housing off. I did say that there was only one bolt you had to get to after you took the cooler off, but there's two. One right there, one right there. The plastic does kind of help you guide, or does guide your socket a little bit, which helps, but they are a little pain to get unless you're a pro. You might have just got them right out. It might have just been me. Right there, that's where I think the leak is happening, but we'll know for sure when I get the new part. But yeah, I just got towels covering it, but it's looking like that for right now. But yeah, I mean, I got all my parts here for right now. And then the one thing I do have to do I cleaned all the openings, but I'm gonna try to just retrofit a thread in here, because that was a problem. Holy shit. That's really the only thing wrong with it, and I don't want to have to get a whole new one, so we're gonna try to see what we can do. If we have to buy a new one, we will, but I have gaskets ordered as well. All the parts will be here in like 3 or 4 days, so I'm gonna just try to do this real quick, but then I think I'll probably finish the cold air intake as well. But for right now, this is don't mind the mess, but this is what we got going on. She's looking a little nicer now that she's not just covered in oil. I don't know, try to take care of it, make it better than what it was, you know. Alrighty, new M8 thread in there. Definitely a janky fix, not my finest work, but I hope it's strong enough to hold at least, and I can put new M8 bolts in. I got hex bolts, so it'll be easier to thread in. I mean, if it doesn't work, like I said, we just swap it with a new intake, but yep. There's two, maybe if it zooms in, there's 2 screws back here, one there, and then one right there, if you can see it. And then that'll be a T30 bit. Come on. I don't want to pull too hard on the wire. I have to wire the hose. There she is. Ah. Oh, real quick, if anybody has a Jetta or a Volkswagen in general, make sure you check, because I mean, I have the camera flipped right now, so it's backwards, but G12, it's supposed to be like pink, I'm pretty sure, so we're gonna have to do a little coolant flush as well.
We're at the engine mount now. It's actually not as hard as I thought. So this is where it's connected to the subframe. There's a bolt there, and there. And then I think there's one. I think actually I might take the wheel out.
All right, I skipped ahead a little bit. Got that old water pump out. That is the new one. Oh, shit. I just busted my ass. So we got our motor mounts out, serpentine belt, AC belt. That's where the water pump is. It was fun. Let's see if I can show you. You have these 3 holes where the screws go in, and they're kind of hiding behind the water pump, and you gotta just be patient with it. It took me about like an hour and a half literally to just slowly work them all out. No, not this hole. This hole right here, zoom out so you can kind of see where it's coming from. That hole right here will be the last bolt you need to get to for the engine mount. I was kind of struggling at first, and then I saw that, and I didn't really need to go through all that struggle, honestly. This is the engine right now. It's I have it jacked up out of the engine bay a little bit, but I need to get this water pump back on, because I definitely don't want it sitting like this. I was able to keep that engine mount on, but then you'll then have to do the 2 screws that hold that dog bone mount in, and then the 2 screws that hold that piece of the exhaust in. They're 13 millimeters. You'll have to undo those 2, and that way kind of frees up the engine to lift up a little bit. I don't know if you can kind of see. You're gonna have to have it on an angle on the left side, and then a little side plot going on. I don't know if you can see there. That's a new dog bone mount with the insert. I didn't want to change out like the bushing from the subframe. And then I'm swapping out the transmission mount as well while we're here, because the engine was shaking a little bit. So that's also my little side plot for the Jetta. So we're gonna slap this on. Do it side by side a little bit. There we go. Gaskets are bigger, but now there's just not that opening that the plastic is allowing. So hopefully we slap this back on and it really stops this leak. So we're gonna put this intake back on, and now probably the best option is to go online and get like the genuine Volkswagen coolant from their website, but I just got G40. It was at O'Reilly's, easily available, and it's compatible with the G12 that is supposed to go on there. Long as it's not this green coolant, really. You shouldn't be using, I mean, I know it says it's all for all vehicles, but I think there's a lot of corrosion that happens if you're not using the correct coolant. So we're gonna do a coolant flush, get her running again. I'm gonna have to drain a little oil out because I'm pretty sure a little coolant fell in there. And then yeah, that's all I know. We got a coolant flush done, and we have the proper G12 coolant. That's G40 technically, but it is kind of just the newer version that's compatible. Everything's hooked back on. Cleaned up. Got the little cold air intake as well. That's in another video. But yeah. Also got the hood latch to work. Cold as Davy. She's still home.